One more thing. Cooper Flagg made some special plays against the New Orleans Pelicans. He's starting to show some Flagg flashes. I'll tell you what those are in today's Locked on Mavs.
I'm here because I have to.
Dallas is going to get a seat at the table.
That's it. It's me versus the machine.
Nice penetrating thrust to the middle.
People forget about Flynn.
Hot man, the hot player.
Wait. One more thing.
Fired up.
Yeah, welcome. You're still locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being an everydayer, making Locked on Mavs your first listen. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. If you win, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Today, I want to break down some of Cooper Flagg's special plays from the Pelicans game because I started to see Cooper Flagg set himself apart in a couple of those plays. He's starting to figure it out. There's some plays where you're like, I see it. I see, for lack of a better term, the vision on Cooper Flagg. So I'm going to go through some of his half-court plays that I think he's starting to get it, where he started to take over in that fourth quarter. I'm going to go through some three-point plays, a couple of defensive things, and then a couple of plays where he's got to be better, and he can be better. And so I'll maybe walk through some of those depending on time here. Let's start in transition, because this is the biggest area I think that Cooper Flagg is showing right away that he is a good player and going to be a good NBA player. Let's caveat all this by saying he is 18 years old. I went through a couple of days ago on the show and walked through like how hard it is to be 18 in the NBA. Through 6 games, he had the second most points of any 18-year-old, like considering the last like 6 or 7 all NBA players that were 18 coming into the NBA. Giannis was not at this level. Kobe was not at this level. Tracy McGrady was not at this level at this point, being an 18-year-old in the NBA. LeBron is the only one where you're like, okay, I could see LeBron was way ahead of where Cooper Flagg is right now. And I got a lot of pushback saying that Cooper Flagg was given the keys. Oh, he's given the keys. And he's kind of. He's not even really getting a ton of field goal attempts. He's getting some of them here and there, but it's not like the Mavs are trying to set him up in the offense, trying to run plays for him. They've ran things here or there, but it's not like he is playing on this 20-win team. Okay, well, maybe. But it's not like he's playing on this team where they got nothing else going for him. And like, all right, you just create plays for us all the time. We're going to run these you run a pick and roll all the time. They haven't done that. They have PJ Washington trying to create plays. They have D'Angelo Russell trying to create plays. You have Klay Thompson trying to create plays. You had Anthony Davis that was running offense. It's not like it's just Cooper Flagg's show and nothing else going on. But in transition, and then so we were trying to figure out before the season, what's the thing that's going to pop for Cooper Flagg early that we're going to say, oh, there it is. That's the thing that is a little bit different that he can start building his game on, getting some confidence in, and it's transition. In transition, the only way the Mavericks have been good on offense this season that I broke down in the episode earlier today, the only way they've been good is in transition. The alley-oop play with 2 minutes left in the first quarter was a perfect example of it, where he was a finisher on the play. He's running the floor. Naji Marshall's running on the other side. Cooper Flagg rises up and he can finish, and he finishes with contact. Now, Naji Marshall did take out Karlo Makovic underneath him, but Cooper Flagg finishes with contact, gets the N1, makes the free throw, and you're like, there you go. He can finish big plays like that. Finishing is definitely a way you're like, all right, he just hasn't had anybody to set him up. So you have D'Angelo Russell out there, or another point guard. They can actually have some plays where they're setting him up. The Mavs just haven't done that yet. They haven't set him up as the finisher. He hasn't set nearly enough screens, I think, yet. Couple other plays in transition, he was good. Minute 38 left in the second quarter. There were 2 Pelicans. He got a steal. He got a steal on defense, and then there are 2 Pelicans in front of him. So only 2 between him and the basket. He then pushes through, or then he at half court, it's just him and Trey Murphy between him and the basket. So it's just one-on-one between half court and then the rim, because he beats another Pelican to half court. He crosses up Trey Murphy at the 3-point line, gets Trey Murphy to turn around, and then Cooper Flagg finishes left at the rim. He's finishing left at the rim really well. Like, his finishing stats were something in college that a lot of people were pointing out and saying, ooh, that's something he's got to have to work on. He's not afraid to finish left. It's not going to be a problem where we're like, man, he can't even go left. Like, well, this is a problem. That has not been a problem for him. He's willing to go left for sure. And he finishes left at the rim in transition because he can rise up over Trey Murphy. He crossed him up at the 3-point line. So between the ball handling, the body control, the finishing at the rim, that was a play where I go, ooh, that is special. Not a lot of players can do that kind of move. At the third quarter, with about 2:50 left in the third quarter, He got a rebound, and there were all 5 Pelicans in front of him. When he got the rebound, the entire team was between him and the basket, right? So it was not just a wide open fast break. Micah Peavy was ball pressuring him at the half court. Cooper Flagg pushes through that, and then right at the nail, he gets past Peavy, his defender, and it's just Karlo Makovic, the center for the Pelicans. It's just him between Flagg and the basket. And so Cooper Flagg, what does he do? A center right in front of him, drives right into his body and rises up, starts with his left hand, and then adjusts and finishes with his right hand on the other side of him. Adjusting in midair, pushing the ball in transition, fighting through ball pressure, getting into the body of a center. Like, this is where you can see him being special because he's doing all these different things. Getting into the body of a center, something that like a big wing can do. Maybe a center that has ball handling ability. Driving past ball pressure from a guard. That's a thing a guard can do. The starting left, finishing right, that's like a high flyer like wing can do, right? You're starting to see all these different things that he can do, and he's starting to put it together. Some of these half-court plays that I want to break down is where you're starting to see him figure it out in the half-court. Third quarter, about 50 seconds left. He brings the ball up himself. He sees Jordan Hawkins, a smaller, like wing player, picks him up at half-court. And he starts to post him up at the three-point line, like way out there. He picks him up. And so Cooper Flagg posts him up. And he posts him up from there. Then he spins a little bit, drives into his body, and he can push past him because he's a smaller defender. He noticed the mismatch right away. Push past him, drives towards the lane. Dwight Powell's in the opposite dunker spot, so he's pulling away Derek Queen, who was the center at the time. And so Derek Queen can't get over fast enough. Flagg gets a wide open dunk at the rim because the quickness on the ball, the ability to notice the mismatch, and he's got the mismatch because he has advantageous tools physically. Fourth quarter, 7 minutes, 50 seconds left. He gets a dribble handoff from Naji Marshall. He's getting defended by Herb Jones, one of the best defenders in the NBA, right? We're seeing this again. Cooper Flagg's getting defended by some of the best defenders in the NBA during the start of his career. He drives right into Herb Jones's body. Isn't worried about it. Isn't concerned that he's gonna get the ball snatched from him. Drives left right into Herb's body. Stops under the rim. Hesitates. He gets Herb Jones to hesitate too. It's not like a full pump fake, but it's just like a hesitate and kind of like he kind of lifted the ball up a little bit. It wasn't a full ball fake. But he fakes him out, gets Herb Jones to like pause for just a second, and then he rises up, lefty finish on the left side of the rim. That's another play in the half court where you go, ooh, here it is. When he gets an advantageous position, dribble handoff from Naji. Naji set a good screen, and Flagg drove right into Herb Jones's body when Herb Jones tried to get around the screen, and then all of a sudden Flagg is in an advantageous position. This is something obviously we'd see Luka do all the time. Get a defender on his hip, get a defender on his back, and then drive and be patient. And be patient at the rim. That's what Cooper Flagg did in this scenario. And that's where I can see it starting to make sense. You start to see the vision for Cooper Flagg. Another one, 5:45 left in the fourth quarter. Flagg posts up at the elbow. He gets the ball there. Gafford comes over and sets a screen for him. And so Flagg goes around the screen, obviously. And Flagg, again, gets Herb Jones on his hip. Drives right into Derek Queen. Big guy, like center, right? Drives right into Derek Queen. Rises up over the top of him. Lefty finger roll over the top of the center. Dribbling against one of the best defenders in the NBA, driving right into the body of a center, rising up over the top of a center, and finishing over the top of him. Like, these are things we're starting to see all the different things that he can do. Another one, fourth quarter, about three and a half minutes left. They fake like this double drag. So double drag is when two players set a screen for the ball handler at the same time, basically, and then you run through both of them. And it's Klay sets the first screen, and Cooper Flagg kind of takes that one, but doesn't really. Then Gafford is setting the next one, and then Cooper Flagg stops, and he realizes he's already ahead of Trey Murphy. He gets Trey Murphy on his hip then at the three-point line, then drives right between Klay and Gafford. He splits the screeners right there, and then Gafford dives in the paint. Not dives like head first, but like he runs into the paint. Flagg follows Gafford into the paint, like, all right, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to follow you through. You push everybody out of my way, and I'm going to go through into the paint. He follows Gafford in the paint. He rises up at the bottom of the circle and gets a floater, righty floater right there. Decent way from the basket. He gets that floater. But you're starting to see the patience. You're starting to see him work out of these, a dribble handoff, a screen, a double drag. You're starting to see him work out of some of these plays. And these were plays we didn't really see from Cooper Flagg at the beginning of the season that we saw in this fourth quarter. You love it. I love to see it. He's starting to get it. He's showing himself, setting himself apart in transition, and we're starting to see the flashes of what Cooper Flagg can be in the half court. Coming up, a couple of plays that also show what Cooper Flagg can do in the future and things he's got to work on. We'll talk about that coming up. Locked On Mavs. One more thing continues right now. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by DoorDash. DoorDash, the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA. They're celebrating what they call the bag drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in a game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day. You're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. We're talking player-inspired drip, exclusive gear, stuff you're actually going to want. And I love that it's not just food. You can get all kinds of different things. Obviously, you can get different things with DoorDash, but in this ultimate fan bag, you can get all kinds of different stuff. DoorDash has you covered for late night highlights, last minute watch parties, and double OT fuel ups. You can do all that stuff with DoorDash. Next time someone goes for 50, drop this promo code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off on DoorDash with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the bag drop. Dash Pass members only 50% off up to $10 the next day after 50-point win with a 50-point game with a promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Available to U.S. residents 21 and older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for full details. DoorDash in your bag all season long. Also brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook, all kinds of things that you can use to get in on the action. Mavs against the Grizzlies are playing. It's still a 4.5-point game if you're looking at it. It could have changed, but I'm recording this at night. And so that could have changed, but you can check that out and see what is available for you on FanDuel at the moment. The over-under 29.5 points for both teams combined to score. I'd probably go under every over-under for this Mavericks. Anytime the Mavs are involved, they're going to score less than what you think. And so maybe I go under on that. If you feel real confident, you're a new customer, you can put down $5 on anything. If you feel real confident you're going to win, you get $300 in bonus bets when that one wins on anything. So right now, FanDuel's giving that deal to you. Head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Please gamble responsibly.
I have to apologize that you felt that he should have played more.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs. The one more thing, it's a bonus show of Locked On Mavs. I did the show where I broke down the offense, and now I want to break down Cooper Flagg's game, a couple of special plays that he made, and I talked through the transition plays, some of the half-court plays. Obviously, he had some bad ones he's got to work on. We'll get through some of those here in a little bit, but he had 2 threes that I think show what kind of special player he can be. First quarter, 7 minutes left. He gets a steal himself. He's walking the ball up the court himself. And Kevon Looney, the center for the Pelicans, picks him up. But he played way back on him. He was nervous about the drive. He didn't want Flagg to drive by him. And so he played back. He gave Flagg some space at the three-point line. And Flagg just casually walked up into a three. And to have the confidence to take that shot, when he starts to knock some of these down, it was a wide open three. It was in rhythm where he's like, all right, I'll walk into it, stop, set up, take the three. Okay, when he starts to make those, he shot 38% in college from three. It's something he's worked on. Those are going to be special plays because then the defender can't stay back on him. Then they gotta get up and defend him up close, and then he can drive by him, do all kinds of stuff. The screens will be more effective because the defender's closer to him. All that kind of stuff will be more effective if they have to respect the threat of a three-point shot. Later in the game, 9:50 left in the second quarter, Herb Jones was playing him at the elbow, and Cooper Flagg walked up to the three-point line. Herb Jones like a couple feet back from him because he's standing there at the elbow. He didn't think Cooper Flagg was going to take the shot, took the shot and made it. Boom. Love that. Once he starts making those threes a little bit more consistently, that's going to be massive. Couple of plays he's got to work on. So in half court, there was a couple of plays that I started going through, and I was like, okay, here's where he can be special, but we've got to work on a couple of things. Second quarter, 4:17 left. He has a pick and roll with Gafford. His defender is Micah Peavy, a smaller defender. He goes over the screen. And so when Cooper Flagg drives through the screen, or on the other side of the screen, there's no defender around him because Peavy's going over the screen. So he's like, all right, he's behind me. He stops, sets up, pulls up a jumper, a wide open shot, but a mid-range shot. And like with movement. When he starts to hit those are like the SGA shots, the Kawhi Leonard shots, the obviously like Michael Jordan shots, where you're like, oh, if he starts hitting those with real regularity, that can be special because that you can get all game long. I talked about the mid-range shots. The Mavs don't have the personnel to hit mid-range shots, and they're taking the 5th most mid-range shots according to their shot diet. But if Cooper Flagg can start to develop that shot, then all of a sudden he can be really scary because then that's a 3-level scorer. That's the third level. That's actually like the second level that is really hard for guys. At the rim in 3 is what everybody wants to do, right? But the mid-range shot, it's only like the stars get to do that because it's a low quality shot for so many other players. Another one, third quarter, 9:50 left. It gets a double drag. So actually D'Lo and Gafford set different varying levels of effective screens. I'll let you decide who set the good one and who set the bad one. But they both set a screen for Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg drives, stops in the paint, and then a fadeaway jumper because Kevon Looney dropped back so far that Flagg had a wide open shot. And so he fades back. He rises really high on the jumper. He missed the jumper. But again, it's another one where you're like, all right, if you can get an advantageous shot where you get close enough to the rim, still was a mid-range, but it was really close to the rim. He starts hitting those. Like those are like the shots Siakam takes. Those are shots that like Embiid was taking when he was at the peak of his powers. And you're like, all right, we're starting to see how he can get some of these shots. Another one, third quarter, minute 22 left. He gets the ball after a miss. He gets the ball at half court. And Sadiq Bey is defending him, and he plays him up a little bit. So he's not going to give him that 3-point shot right there walking up into it. So he plays him up a little bit, and Flagg makes a real quick, decisive decision, drives right at Bey, and then he spins. Cooper Flagg goes left, spins back right, and has the opportunity to get like a scoop layup shot at the rim. He misses it on the right-hand side. He misses it with his right hand. But you start to see, all right, if a player is going to defend up, after he starts making those threes, if a player defends up and he spins and can start finishing at the rim, he's going to be special. These are things that obviously an 18-year-old is going to struggle with in the NBA, with NBA size, NBA speed, all that. You've got to spin faster. You've got to go to the rim quicker. You got to jump quicker. All those things, it's all timing he's got to figure out. He had another one that was third quarter, minute left. So this is like, 20 seconds after that last one. Dwight Powell says a screen for him, and Derek Queen was the big, and he drops back. So he's playing drop, and so he's not defending him way up. And so Cooper Flagg slows down. He gets Trey Murphy on his hip, and he does a 2-hop and goes into a floater. And I think Trey Murphy altered the shot from behind because Cooper Flagg missed it. That's another one where it's like timing. Okay, can you can do that 2-hop step, but it can't be with somebody on your hip because then they're going to catch up to you. And Trey Murphy's a long defender, and he's going to be able to get to that shot. So there's a couple of things that he's got to work on, the timing, like those kind of things. But man, some of these plays, I was excited about watching them back again today because I'm like, all right, here you go. There's some things that are going to set Cooper Flagg apart. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you do, subscribe to the show. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. And wherever you're listening, subscribe, listen every single day. We're here for the Raccoon Squad members every single day. Check out the show tomorrow. It'll be Isaac and Slightly with the postgame show. Thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs.
Peace out.